Hello, welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network. Presented by Patriot Patch Company, Camerado, and Marissa's Humming. And Jim didn't catch that. Did Jim freeze?
No,
Jim,
he's there. He's moving.
Yeah. Breathe, Jim. Breathe.
Wait, what did I miss?
I said brought to you by Patriot Patch Company, Camerado, and Marissa's Humming.
Oh yeah.
She was humming in the background as I was doing.
She must have a boyfriend somewhere else in the house. Oh boy, I'll have to find that guy's call after the show. We'll see.
There you go.
JT Swing, behave yourself, you rascal.
So, how's everybody doing?
Best as can be expected. How's that?
Fair enough.
Where are you at, Paul? Where are you located?
I'm in Romeoville. I'm still at my daughter's in Romeoville.
Very good.
Went to the doctor's the other day, and I got to go to another doctor now. So,
Best of luck.
yeah, gonna need it.
Yep.
Mike, I'll be right back.
All right, well, right here. Nick, what you been up to?
Not much. Had a club meeting last week, so I wasn't on. Vault door is ordered. It should be here hopefully tomorrow. It was transferred from, I'm going to butcher the name. Is it Estitz? I can't remember the company that was doing the main transport to a local little transportation. Yes, these. Yeah. Transferred to a local company. So hopefully it'll be delivered tomorrow.
You know why they had to transfer it to a local company?
Why is that?
Liftgate.
Yeah, that's what makes sense.
Estes typically does not have trucks with lift gates.
Yeah, because they'll lift it down and then just roll it up to my garage. I'll just store it in the garage for a couple days. But other than that, not much. Did pick up last week, the night of the show. I had some time away, so I went to a local gun store that carries reloading components, and they had 2 pounds left of Accurate 2400 for under $40 a pound. So I picked both of them up. So that was a pretty good score on there. Had a military reenacting event over the weekend, or I don't know how I survived because it was miserable. I think we were in the hundreds all weekend. It was 100.
You weren't part of that. You weren't part of that group that recreated D-Day over in Michigan, were you?
No, I had a couple friends that were at that one, but I didn't go to that one. No, the one I went to was like 15 minutes from the house. Local little VFW put one on in a park. But no, it was miserable here. It's been 100 the last 3 or 4 days. Today was relative. It was 93 today, which
it was 94 here.
It felt amazing today. But other than that, getting ready for this weekend for GunCon, so getting all my wet weather gear ready.
Yeah, you guys are going to GunCon for a while, huh?
Yep. You'll be there Friday and Saturday.
So, yep.
Get to walk through the beautiful Brownells building, see all the distributors and gun companies there.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff I'm looking to. Hopefully, Valcourtson's going to be there. I'm hoping they're going to be at range day.
Should be.
I've never shot one, so it'll be cool to shoot one of those. The Rost Martins seems pretty interesting for the price. My guess they'll be at range day as well, so it'll be interesting to shoot. But no, I already got my shopping list put together for Brownells. I got to get some more Acroglass. Hopefully they have the 4-row karting wheels back in stock by the time I get there. If not, I can order it somewhere else. I'm going to get some Sarasafe because we're going to do an episode on Sarasafing a chamber. There's some other things. But I'm there. Might as well get my shopping done.
Acroglass?
Yeah, for like fixing cracks.
Oh, okay. For fixing cracks, yeah.
Yep, that's all. That's why I don't bed much stuff, but I use it for the fixing the cracks in the stocks. And
yeah, if
so
you're
I buy
bedding,
the resin. Yeah, no, they make a special one for the bedding. I buy I think the red ones for the bedding. They're green boxes for the cracks and stuff like that. So
yeah.
So all of the groups that are the vendors that are supposed to be there are S&T Incorporated, which I'm not familiar. I'll have to look it up. Gideon Optics, High Point, Matador Arms, Yankee Hill, H&K, Mantis, Radiant Defense, Stern Defense, Wilson Combat, X-Tech, Amend 2, Arrow, Lockdown, Frankfurt Arsenal, Caldwell, Wheeler, and then KDG, Volquartsen, Walther, DS Arms, Meprolite, Infraray, Neomag, Brownells is going to have a little display, LMT, Tandem Cross, Ranger Point, Brita / Rete, Victor Co., Rost Martin, VKTR, KAK, KCI, Daniel Defense, Sentry / Canic, Rifle Speed, Vertex, Powder River, and Bull Armory. And then nonprofits, GOA, IFC, which is Iowa Firearms Coalition, SAF, and FRAC, which I'm not sure who that is. And then there's going to be a couple companies outside: Rugged, First Form, Mainline Overland, Rifle Speed Truck, and DD Trailer. So kind of more along the vehicle line stuff outside. So if you who are live want any of those vendors, any questions, let us know. So
we could slug a barrel.
yeah. Slugging's barrel, no problem. Even doing a casting chamber is no problem.
Great, because it's just a barrel.
Mm-hmm. And there's videos on. I think he still has them up. I recommend it. It's an old video of his, but he had a pretty good one I always followed. He's got one from 14 years ago. It was a good one I always followed. He's got one for doing a Sarasafe chamber cast. He's even got one where you're actually using the Sarasafe to basically do gunsmithing on it. He had, say, part of a case got stuck in the chamber. He had to use the Sarasafe to help get it out. So there's way more than just casting a chamber for use for Sarasafe.
Yeah. It's a handy product to have around.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And for
and
what
it's
is
super simple use. I think it's $25 right now. And it's actually came down in price. So I was watching IV8088 videos, which are at least 6 years old. His newest one is.
Excuse me, you did not put enough 8s in that.
Funny. But I think it was for the 1 pound block back then was like $60 some. The 1 pound block now is like $25. So it's actually came down in price. Something in the firearms industry to come down in price.
Oh, ballistic gel? I was zoned out for a second. Yeah.
No, Sarasafe.
Oh, Sarasafe, yeah. Yeah, that's really.
I missed it. Who's the guy on YouTube with you showing the Sarasafe castings?
Iraq Vet 8888.
Okay.
So one of the originals.
We're gonna do one.
Yeah, we'll do a video. Yeah, I'll probably do. we'll do like a 1911 barrel or some sort of barrel. I can easily cast the chamber, and you do just the barrel, and then slugging a bore. I have a rifle that's not even in the stock. We can use that. So,
Yep.
Or I can pull a rifle barrel out of stock. Pretty easy to do. I can set up in the garage.
If you're going to slug the barrel, you're going to pull the bolt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah, everything will be pulled, and I'll grease the bore. And
I assume so, but I'm talking about YouTube's liabilities and all that.
I have an AR barrel. I got an AR barrel that's out of the firearm.
Even an AR barrel out of it.
We can do that.
You don't even need to. I can pull the barrel out of the stock and have everything out. Where we have that just in a vise, ready to go.
Actually, I've got Ken's burnt up barrel around here somewhere. Yeah, that 6.5. Yeah, that 6.5 284 barrel.
Yeah,
I got that around here somewhere. I can dig that out. We can do that.
Yeah, because if it's burnt out, you won't see much lands and grooves.
So it's about an inch down where it's worn. So, but yeah, we can do that.
Yep.
That should be a pretty steaming caliber, 6.5 284.
I think so. I have dies for it, but I don't have a. My kid is so spacey sometimes. He just texted me, asked me to look at his girlfriend's car because there's something going on. He goes, "How about right now?" I'm like, he goes, "What? Are you home?" I said, "What do I do every Tuesday night for the last how many years?" He hasn't answered yet.
He's like, "Oh, wait, I forgot."
Yeah.
How long has it been? 10 years? Almost?
Well, the first couple we did it on Sundays. So it was 20. It wasn't until I think 2017 we switched it to Tuesdays when I went to days at the school district. So I think like the first 4 years we did it on Sundays. Because I work second shift at the school district. So
I think the reason why we changed because it was also inconvenient for you and me. For whatever reason.
Because we had a lot of stuff going on. I had a lot of family stuff going on Sundays.
Oh yeah.
So, but, yeah. So once I went to days at the district, then I was able to move to the Tuesday nights. So anyway.
Yeah.
So I talked about all the fun stuff I got last week. So bullets. What's the big deal about bullets?
What you gonna use them for?
Poking holes in paper.
Okay.
Practice or group sizing?
Accurate.
I'm gonna use the Paul Loud method of target imprinting. So literally, what you do is you take your bullet and you take the target and you go pop it.
At least you're saving ammo.
That's right. You can recycle the bullet. Yeah, so Paul, you know how you sent me that link?
Yes.
It was the wrong one.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, not your fault. It was supposed to work, but mine's the eye.
Oh, okay.
So because it's the eye, it's got this little extra tab on it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I gotta remember to return that one and then get the right one.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize that.
Oh, and not your fault. I'm the dumbass that ordered it. So. It's not your fault at all.
So we're talking bullets here.
Yep.
Okay.
So tonight we're talking about 30 cals because we're loading a 308.
Yeah.
30 cal is, as Jim stated in the preamble, which not everybody gets privileged to look at. It is the most common projectile.
Most common projectile diameter.
Mm-hmm. As far as reloading goes. Let's see if it works. Yep. Yay. All right. So, what I want to start with, what is a bullet?
Oh,
Them some big ass bullets.
Focus. Oh. Do you guys read that now?
sure.
Okay. So this is from Sierra, and this is Bullet Anatomy. If I thought about it, I'd had something to hold this on. I have a clipboard somewhere? No. That's too much effort. Anyway, there's got to be a better way to do this. Cords everywhere. There's cords. Blocking out the scenery. Jacket with cords. Do you like my ripoff of signs? Anybody? Anybody notice that? Nobody cares.
You are going to get your camera closer, right?
Nope.
No, I guess not.
All right. Can anybody read that?
No. I've got it on full screen plus F11.
That was a nice thought. Anyway. Oh, I can do this. So, you get your metplat, which is the diameter of the very small flat on the very tip of the bullet. This is a resin tip. So this is like their tipped Game Kings, etc. Ogive. So it's pointing to actually both bullets for the ogive, which is the curved forward part of the bullet. And then you get your shoulder, which is the junction between the ogive and the bearing surface. You got your core. So, well, actually, we'll stay on the outside here. So you got your bearing surface. And that's the part that actually makes contact with the rifling. Okay. That's kind of out of everything. That is going to be your biggest benefit or hindrance. So, and then you got your boat tail, which is the tapering here at the bottom, versus a flat base. Heel bullet, which is the very bottom. It says a slightly radiused portion of the bullet between the base and the main body. So where it kind of rolls over. And the base is the flat bottom of the portion of the bullet. So as far as construction, you've got the core, typically lead on a jacketed bullet. And then you've got your jacket, which is typically, it's a metallic cover. It's typically brass. So occasionally you'll have copper jacketed, more in pistols and rifles. Obviously, if it's a solid, a single metal projectile, then there's no lead core. It's just solid. So that's kind of the basic understanding of the design of a bullet. And then you got your bullet designs, and this is kind of a basic overview. You got your Spitzer, which is usually a soft point, but it comes to somewhat of a point. Kind of think of like a sharpened pencil after you've written with it for a little bit. You got your semi-point, which is more of it's not quite flat, but it's not as extended as a Spitzer. And then you got your flat nose, obviously. Looks like somebody ran into it with a frying pan. Your FMJ. Now, here's the fun thing about a full metal jacket. So it's using the dark black to indicate where the jacket is. So you'll notice on a full metal jacket, the base is not a jacket. It's open and exposed. So you got a round nose. Typically, the difference between like a semi-point and a round nose, the round nose is a lot wider. You got a hollow point where there's a cavity there. Then they show the boat tail where it's got the boat tail here. This is a flat base, flat base, flat base, flat base. So, and then in your handgun bullets, you got your FMJs, which once again, the base is not jacketed. You got your jacketed hollow cavity, which is different slightly than a hollow point. So then you got your full profile jacket or full metal jacket, or your not full metal jacket. What do they call them?
Solids.
Total metal jacket.
Yeah, total metal jacket. Sorry. And then you get your jacketed hollow point. You know, notice the opening is slightly different between these two. And then you got your jacketed soft point. Now, this doesn't cover any cast bullets, so. But so that's kind of the basics on bullets. So what is the single most important thing as far as bullet design when you're looking at a bullet? Is there one specific thing, Jim? You're muted.
I thought I unmuted it and you saw my hand go. Whatever. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Consistency. That's the most important thing I can think of in a rifle bullet or handgun bullet. Diameter has to be consistent for obvious reasons. And the bullet weight should be consistent too. But as everybody keeps saying, the disclaimer is, what are you going to use it for? Punching paper, shooting whitetail, or are you going to go prairie dog hunting with it for 800 yards?
As a target bullet and a prairie dog bullet, as an accuracy bullet, I want a consistent jacket. In other words, that is to the 10,000ths of an inch all the way around.
Yep.
Jacket.
So you're talking jacket thickness?
Jacket thickness. Okay. I want the lead to be a soft lead, not hard. I want the ogive and the metaplate to be uniform, and the driving band and a boat tail on it.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for, and I usually find that in a target bullet or a bullet specifically designed for long range shooting that will expand on a small game animal.
So Clifford wants to know why a soft lead.
Soft lead will allow the bullet to engrave easier in the in the lands and grooves, and it will also be more consistent as far as its metallurgical makeup. In other words, so it will be more accurate as far as weight.
Tipped versus soft lead for deer under 250 yards.
What's the difference?
Right?
What's the difference? 250 yards is not even a worry
No.
on any good, well constructed bullet.
Correct. So I just wanted to show also here. This is from Sierra. I just got the new one here. So this kind of shows you. So this is, over here we start with rifle, way over here. So you start with 20 caliber, way over here. This is 22, so you can tell. This is 6 mil, 25, 6.5, 270,
284.
Yep. 7 millimeter, 284. And right here, 30 cal for your typical 30-30 loads. So you notice they got blunt points. Here is your 30 cal 7.62 start. So you got your 110 grain here, all the way through here, all the way here to 230 grain. Hollow point boat tail match king.
Yep.
Which has a ballistic coefficient of 800. So they've got that one for long distance.
Holy. 800, did you say? My God.
800 BC.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I don't know, and I'm guessing it's probably G7 BCs they're using on here.
G1.
Oh, it is G1?
Sierra uses G1.
Okay.
Now, Sierra is the only bullet company that will list multiple velocities for its value, for its G1 value. So, in other words, it'll sit there and say from 3,000 to 2,500, it's got this G1, and then it will go down and list the next velocity and so on down the line.
Here's another thing for this bullet, Matt. When you see the red, that is telling you what your twist rate needs to be for that particular projectile.
Right.
So the best thing about this, though, is it's got your tech support and your website up here. Sierra's tech support is amazing. They love to talk bullets, and they love to talk to you about answering your questions. So
I've even heard it says the Sierra people will talk to you about problems that are not Sierra bullet related.
That's
definitely
true. Definitely true.
Yeah, I've talked to them about a couple of things. So basically, I've got a bunch of different bullets here, all in 30 cal, that I was going to kind of show off here. 22. Got some 22 volts I didn't want to have. Heck do those. Surprises from Midway. So, problem when you don't load enough. You don't remember everything you got. 30 cal. Ooh, look. It's purple 40 cal.
You must have got that from the bug juice of grapes. Died like grapes.
No, who'd those come from? PC bullets. They're poly coated. So, oh my God. Need some bullets? what good are you if you didn't label your bullets? Right? I got some projectiles, a bunch of projectiles from Loading Republic, but I don't know what they're for. So I'll figure it out.
Your calipers and scales will help you a lot on that.
Yeah, we'll do that on another day because there's a whole bunch of them in here. So anyway, so just a couple. So just a couple different 308 styles.
I started to say those are bullets, but they're not. They're bullets.
Yep, not a single one is a bullet. So, in no particular order, these are from Top Brass. These are actually pull downs. So they are 175 grain 308 bullets, or 7.62. And it's got a load data on here, but this is for 30-06. So I won't use this load data. Because that's what the person bought the bullets for, is 30-06.
Wait a minute, Mike. Wait a minute. Are you going to tell me that you can use the same bullet in 308 as you can in 30-06?
And 301 mag.
And
3300 or 3338 and 300 Weatherby and 7.62 by 51.
good answer.
But
We all knew I was pulling the wool, trying to pull the wool over Mike's side, but we all know that
7.62 by 39 and not 7.62 by 54R.
Right.
And why is that, Nick?
What was that? My volume was going out.
I said, so we were talking about different cartridges you can use 7.62 bullets on. And I said, and not 7.62 by 39 and not 7.62 by 54R. And why is that, Nick?
Because they're actually a 0.310 to 311 diameter.
Because communists are bastards.
Yep.
So JT Schwing wants to know about 30-30. You could, just don't put them in the tubular magazine. Won't turn out very well for you.
you're right. Just single load them.
So these are 180 grain Winchester PowerPoints. And so what this is basically a soft point. They just call it a PowerPoint. So 180 grain. Oh, we forgot 300 blackout. They said you can use it for Mosin. Interesting. On here. I don't think so. So, for those of you wondering what 30 grains will do for you, that's 30 grains difference. 150 grain PowerPoint, 180 grain PowerPoint. Quite a bit of difference. The biggest difference isn't where the ogive is and where the Meplat is. The biggest difference is your bearing surface. So if I actually line up the cantilures, you'll notice ogive lines up, Meplat lines up, cantilever lines up, bearing surface is different. And these are flat base, these aren't boat tail. So make sure to put them back in the right bags. Because yeah, we don't want that. Jared Noble knives. So You know, if you're floating around on Facebook, look up Jared Noble Knives. He makes awesome knives. I finally found this thing. I don't know where the heck it went. So, watch your clearances, because sometimes you can save a ton of money. Moment of silence for Cabela's Bargain Caves. So, part of the reason these are in the Bargain Cave, though, is because they have issues. So they got a little wet, and the tips got knocked out of a few. So this bad boy, the 200 grain. So now we're even bigger. But yeah, you can see it's got some discoloring from water damage and ballistic tip. These I'm just going to probably load up as target fodder at some point in time.
Run them through your tumbler.
Yeah, I will when I get to that point. These are unknown from Midway USA. Somebody gave them to me. They're Molly. Look, they're gray.
Careful with those.
That sounds like something Nelson would do.
These and these will never actually get loaded. Because these are actually, I take it back. These did get loaded. These are 155 grain AMAX Molly coated, so they're tipped. They were horrible on accuracy. So, all over the friggin' place. These I just keep for examples. So, actually, no, I don't even think these are. They're not really Molly. What the heck are they? Or is Molly gray too?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yes.
They're probably 150 grain, looking at them. All right, so we'll see that later. The .38 5-shot load that I've talked about many times was actually loaded. Bench Addict's going to hate this. 150 grain SST interlocks.
It's a good hunting bullet.
It is, and that's what they were for.
Yeah.
So,
you know, the problem is that we're trying to get Bench Addict to try the 105 grain 6mm bullets, so he can get on paper.
Yep. Now, see, this is probably what I would load up personally for prairie dogs. I did a baby 110 grain.
There you go.
I don't even think they make this bullet anymore.
Yes, they do.
Okay, good. So, that one I got, I don't remember. I was debating on a coyote load for that, but then I got these little babies, and they worked better for what I was doing. And oh my God, are they just friggin' lethal on a coyote? 125 grain. Nosler.
That's a hunting bullet now. That is not a varmint bullet, really.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, technically, I was kind of wasting them on coyotes, but
yeah.
Hey, I got them on a good price. What did I pay for these? There's 50 of them in here, and I paid like $8.
Great price. Great price.
Yeah,
they're usually $32 for 50.
Yeah, so I definitely not the same. And then these are two that I have. They're both factory sealed, so I'm actually going to open them because I'm never going to load them anyway. They're just standard, good old Hornady 3035s, which are 30 cal, 150 grain round nose. So, but they're older package, and like I said, the factory seal, the seal is intact on both of them. Now they put some extra tape on. What even is this one? Yeah, the factory seal is still intact on both of them. So
now those are traditional deer hunting bullets.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't load them anyway. So they were they were in something that I picked up. So
yeah.
So then when I got into loading for my 30-30, I decided that I wanted to go with a modern bullet. I didn't want to go with 130 or 150 or 170 grain soft point. So Hornady, because they love lever guns just like I do, created a couple of different points. Now this one here is the Monoflex, which actually I think I don't know if they're discontinuing this one or not. I know I could only find 50, but also this was the middle of COVID. This is a 140 grain Monoflex. Oh, the Monoflex is the tip. It's a soft tip, so when it slams into a primer, it doesn't go bang because it's not a sharp tip. The ones I actually wound up making my loads on are these bad boys, which are actually the same tip if you buy any of the 160 grain Lever Evolutions ammo. This is the same projectile that they use in that. So this is the FXTs. So, but yeah, these are the ones that I've used on my 30-30s. Which I've got to get serious about because it's July, basically, and deer season's coming. So, but I actually probably will wind up loading most of these in a 30-6 configuration because I don't own a 3008 right now. Wait a minute, yes I do technically. I have a 7.62 by 51. As soon as I get the cheap.
Did we lose him?
I think Mike just cut himself off.
I think he did. Just so everybody knows, the Monoflex is still available, both as loaded ammunition and as bullet for reloading.
Okay. I grabbed my mouse and then bumped it into the bullets and hit the back button that's on the side of the mouse because I got one of those fancy ones.
That's all right.
That's why I disappeared. So yeah, that's kind of gives you an idea of some basic ones and different sizes and stuff. Now, Paul, you said be careful with those, with the Mauis.
Yes. Here's the thing. Molly is hydroscopic, okay, which means it attracts moisture. So you will shoot those in your barrel, and you will leave Molly behind, and moisture will get underneath the Molly because it's attracted to it, and you will begin to deteriorate your barrel with rust, and that is why Molly is not really popular anymore among target shooters. If you are good at cleaning your gun out after every time you shoot Molly, not a problem. But if you don't clean it every time, and you are in a humid climate, which about 2/3 of us are here, you could have some definite problems with rust and barrel problems. So, yeah, you shoot Molly get the JB bore compound out and the Krolls and a good soft nylon brush and attack it. Clean it all out, get it nice, bright, and shiny, and go back to shooting it when you're ready. And it'll take you a few shots, 2 or 3, to coat the barrel before it really starts to let the effect happen with it.
So when I was talking about the old standard style bullets for the 30-30s,
Yes.
that's what they look like.
Yep.
So I just wanted to show that off as a comparison. So, but like I said, different. Now, Jeremy Rowland actually has a 170 grain that he casts. That he shoots in his. And he's got it accurate, I think 2 MOA out at 300 yards. Or maybe better. So Molly's a bad coating. What's this HBN coating that Alaska Russ is talking about, Paul?
HBN 2, which is a it's a hexagonal coating that is extremely fine, does not attract moisture. It has a ignition rate somewhere over 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and the steel industry uses it to lube the hinges on their furnaces. So it's also used a lot in cosmetics, and as a bullet coating with an as impact coated, gives you a very slick surfaces, which reduces copper fouling and will build up a protection to reduce alligator cracking and the bore over long periods of shooting. It's just a better lubricant for bullets than Molly.
Well, the fact that it's not hygroscopic is a huge thing.
Right. Yep. Plus, it's 6,000 degree temperature means that it does not burn up in the barrel, and it leaves a good coating in there, and is a good lubricant for reducing pressures and increasing velocities. I will yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Nick, what bullets do you usually use when you're loading for mill certs?
Depends on what we're shooting. A lot of my older stuff we're shooting cast, but I have loads that will shoot just standard FMJ. Depending also, like for instance, some like Swedes. I use hollow point bow tails if I'm shooting like precise target shooting. Just get that extra accuracy. It's most of it's yep, but most of it's just your standard full metal jacket or round nose or a cast. Like I've been working on a load right now for the Swiss 1889 Schmidt Rubens. That's using bullets similar to what you were showing off there a second ago, Mike. It's got that flat round nose, old school style projectile. It's long. It's a longer bullet, so it bites into those lands better and gets less free bore, and you're really getting into that chamber better. So because those chambers are really worn out, but usually have really good rifling.
So what's the big deal about that bullet versus a Spitzer? What firearm was modified because of the introduction of the Spitzer bullet?
Ooh, there was a lot of them actually.
U.S.
U.S. That would have been. Oh gosh, what was that? Was that the 03 would have been not Spitzer.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been the Craig.
No, the 03.
That's
when
right.
The 03 was launched.
Yeah,
it was
3003. Yep.
Which had that
3003 had that long round nose.
basically the same bullet that they use in the Corlac for the 3030s.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, they had to modify this completely. And finding one of those is almost impossible. I've only seen a couple at auctions. So your chances of your chances of seeing those are impossible. Like when we shoot our low number 03 Springfield, we'll shoot a cast bullet through it.
Uh-huh.
It's an earlier one, so it's meant to have those longer bullets, and you're not pushing it, but we don't push most of them anyway.
So when you're just to kind of clarify that, since you brought it up, what is the low number? I mean, what's the cutoff?
So there is I can pull it up real quick. Dad knows off the top of his head. I don't.
Way to go, Ray! Not being here.
Well, he's at a baseball game right now. So
what baseball game?
The Royals.
Are they winning or losing?
I don't know. They're in town for his work's annual meetings is here in Kansas City, and their night out / group get-togethers at the Royals baseball game at an all-you-can-eat buffet. He's like, you want to go? I'm like, no, I got to work late. First of all, second of all, I got the podcast. Let's see. So I think it's like 800 some thousand.
Yeah, the Royals are up 1-0 on the Marlins, so they should win that game.
So for Springfields, anything below 800,000, and for Rock Islands, anything below 286,000. So what the reason why they're called low numbers, when we always search them, or if you hear people call them, that's either a low number or a high number. Mm-hmm. There supposedly were accounts in the trenches of guns exploding. I have a completely different theory on that.
I agree with your theory too.
And I've had guys complain, oh no, they actually did, and there's supposedly eyewitness accounts, and I don't know. And there was a guy, we were at Sarco a couple years ago, said, oh no, he's had one where he's taken the barrel of action out of stock and the receiver and barrel have just crumbled at his hands. I'm like, how does hardened steel just crumble? I've never heard of that. Anyway, my theory, I know Mike and you and I both agree.
Yeah.
So trench warfare, World War I. Mud, dirt. Hey, we're taking over a trench.
Barrel obstructions.
First of all, barrel obstruction. Oh, there's ammo here. Oh, it fits in the chamber. Because at that time, the 8mm Mauser was actually a .318 diameter projectile. So we're even closer to 308 compared to what 323 would be for 8mm later. We're going to fit in the chamber. Oh, it fits in the gun. Let's use it. Boom. You have a multiple failure point.
Mm-hmm. And there was also stories of people trying to shove 303s in there.
That too. Yep. That's another one.
But 303s don't necessarily fit.
Why?
Because it's rimmed.
I have a question, guys, because Rifle Magazine way back when did a test of 303s, and they found that the hardness was not uniform in those lower number guns.
No, absolutely. There was issues on heat treating, hardness, but I don't think it was to the point where you'd have the issues that they've been talking about.
Well, they seem to have proved it with some of their stuff that they were talking about with doing their hardness testing and that. And I don't remember the issue, but it was in the 60s, if I remember right, because I used to have just about every issue of Rifle Magazine.
Yeah.
And I studied some of that stuff, and they definitely had some issues with it. And
yeah, I mean, now it's probably the super early ones. My guess, for instance, Springfield's, it's everything below 800,000. They were probably in your 200 to 250s. because at that time you were going at good production, and then we start cranking up super fast, and I guarantee you that's where the heat treating issues came into play. I don't know if I haven't done the research in a while to see where the serial numbers for the known supposed examples that blew up were. My guess they're in that 200 to 400,000 range. But the answer Clifford Zach, yes, that is a high number. So yeah, if it's a Springfield, which it should be by that serial number, it's pretty easy to distinguish by just the serial number. If you give me just the serial number, I can tell you what manufacturer. That is a Springfield. Rock Island didn't go above, I think it was like 450 to 600,000. I don't remember exactly their top out point. And then the 2 million serial number range were Remington, but those were World War II produced 03s. But no, they're my dad's favorite rifle. They're up there for me as well. TAC drivers. There's a fun gun to shoot.
So they basically hit 800,000 during 1918.
Yeah, which makes sense for his barrel.
Yeah,
because he just put his barrels with June of 18, which makes sense. Oh, that's the original barrel too, which probably never even went over.
Yeah.
Well, it did because it was November of the armistice, so of that year.
So, basically, they hit 269,000 by 1906, which is also when they switched to the 30-06 cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely possible. It's definitely plausible that anything made before 1907 could have had issues.
Well, I guarantee it was partially the pressure between the two cartridges. Because I don't know. I never looked at the pressure.
I don't know either.
3003 and 3006. There's got to be a difference.
Maximum pressure for a 30-06 is 6190. The 3003 doesn't stay. Useless mucks. There we go. Let's see here.
You're looking at a commercial 30-06, not a military 30-06.
Oh, that was the first number that came up. So
yeah.
Right now I'm looking to see if I can find actual pressure for odd 3. As far as case, basically the difference between the 03 and the 06 is in the neck. The neck is actually shorter on the odd 6.
So looking at the max pressure was about 58,000 for 30-06. 30-03 was. They don't give me, do they? Of course not. Well, it was a lot heavier of a bullet, the 30-03 projectile was.
Yeah, 220.
Yeah, compared to, I think, 180, what we were running in World War One. I don't remember. No, we were running 150 at that point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought the original was 150.
They changed it so much.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to find load data for 30-03.
It's probably gonna be difficult because it's actually a parent round of. There's a Chinese round that was very similar in overall length and condition, which is known as a 6.8 by 57. That's almost identical. Some of the Chinese Mausers for that in that cartridge. But no, it's one you gotta be careful of. But I don't see an issue. I don't push most of my stuff that old fast.
Okay. The 30 M1 ball had a maximum average pressure of 48,000 psi. The 303 was, where are we at here? Let me. Now you see they give me maximum cup for the 303 of 50,000 cup for the 303. So there's a difference there because the odd 6 is in PSI.
What does that cup stand for?
Copper units of pressure.
CUP.
Which is where they would take a copper cylinder that is been tested, and they are able to put that into the specific place in the cartridge, and it was a hole that was drilled into the breech end of the gun, and the copper was then put in and then screwed down tight. The gun was fired, and then they would do like 15 or 20 of them at a time, and then they would take and with a very accurate micrometer measure, and the copper had a sheet that went along with how as it was crushed, what it took to crush it as far as the copper units of pressure. So they would have a sheet that would tell them what it was. And that's why there is no correlation between PSI and cup. Now, people say that there is a CUP to PSI. Cup to PSI calculator, and if we would put in 50,000 cup and calculate, it would be 57,898 PSI, according to the cup to PSI calculator on the Calculator Academy team, which is go to Calculator Academy /cup to PSI calculator. So, and we all know that the M1 Grand used a what was it, 153 grain bullet, and it was kept on at 2,700 feet per second.
Yep. 2740.
So Buffalo Arms makes a 30-3, 220 grain, and it's loaded to 45,000 psi at 2,000 feet per second.
And they normally downcharge a little bit.
So I mean, I guess we just spent a lot of time figuring it, and we're back at the same point we were. It's plausible.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people I've seen, if they have a 30-3, they'll just punch 30-6 through it. So,
your brass life is just gone. That's all it is, really.
Well, yeah.
And you'll have some ejection issues because depending on when the 30-3 was done, they actually had 30-1, all the early ones, and the rim is thinner.
Yeah.
Or the case of grab.
Yep.
Base of the case is a thinner rim. So it's just even different. It's such that was just in a weird time of rifle development for the US.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know a few things that old RCBS shell holders, some of them would not. A number 3 shell holder is 30-6, 308, as we say today, but some of the number 3s would not take a 308 case because the rim is actually thicker than a 30-6. So now I don't expect anybody to find one today, but
right. Yeah, those are.
Well, that makes me think about it, Paul. You saying that because I was making some brass for a rifle of mine. I was taking 8x56 Mannlicher and forming it down, and I was using an older RCBS shell holder I'd had that was said it would work for it, but it wouldn't fit in there. So I had to order the brand new production Hornady shell holder for it. So it's that same thing for me. So
well, there you go. Small world. A lot of people I saw either using 280 or 270 brass to make 30-3 brass.
270 is so universal,
right?
I think I'm ordering 300 pieces this week for a project.
So, Jim, they can be like Jason and resize that 270 brass.
Resize it right to 30-6,
or in this case, 30-3. So, but. So basically, the bottom line is if it's under 800,000, load them light.
Yep.
So, but like Nick was saying, I agree with Nick's theory.
Could there have been barrel stretch was the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, could there have been an issue? Yeah. In the fog of war, how many people do you hear of that had barrel obstructions? I mean, it happened in the Pacific all the time.
Well, look at the Civil War, for instance. They found muskets with 8-9 balls rammed on top of each other.
Yep.
And it's the same situation. And how many times would those explode?
Yeah.
I had a friend here that his musket just blew up on his face. Somehow he didn't get injured, literally at the back of the breech.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Amazing. So. And it's, even when you move to semi-auto and full auto rifles, barrel obstructions were a huge thing. I've heard some stories, listening, sitting down at the VFW and listening to some of the non-vets talking about, and even the Korea vets, where they would put anything they could find over their barrel. Condoms were a popular thing in Vietnam because they handed them out like candy. So if they knew they were going out in the jungle, they'd slap a condom over the end of the barrel. I do it when I'm going out hunting. I'll throw a piece of electrical tape over the end of my barrel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, World War II later on, you see them putting the D-ration boxes over the top of the Grand. It was perfect fit over it.
Yep.
That's what they did.
Because a barrel obstruction is so easy. You're running, you trip, and you fall. Boom.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden somebody pops out and you pull the trigger. No time to think.
And especially on a grand, you'll feel that one.
But I mean, trench warfare, you're diving in the trench and then immediately got a fire. Or like you know, with the ammo, you dive in the trench. Oh, ammo. It fits. Bang. Kaboom. So, I mean, look at how many people try and run 300 blackout through 5.56 barrels.
I think
That's
the other thing you have to look at in World War One would be the quality of ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. How many of those were double charged or charge and a half or primer only?
You know, in the heat of battle, somebody racking the bolt back and forth, you know, not even noting that just the primer went off and then sticking another case in there.
Yep, that's another one
going off. I was reading an article in World War One about the quality of artillery shells,
mm-hmm.
and they were saying that about 50% of American artillery shells during the first year of the war that we were there didn't go off. You know,
yep.
when they landed. So
that's why they literally in France they literally have areas that are cordoned off that living people are not allowed in.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that there's so much unexploded ordnance. Clifford, that would be.
So you thinking of cordite?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only thing I think of. I'm like, what stick pad are we talking?
Gotta
thing I can think of. Yeah.
So spaghetti powder.
Yep,
for
spaghetti
what?
powder. That's when he says stick. The only thing truly is a stick from that time period would be cordite.
Yeah.
But I believe World War One wouldn't have been cordite.
No, World War One was not cordite.
Yeah, World War One was not.
For the British, it was cordite. The 303 was cordite.
Mm-hmm.
But America used a powder called M21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was the powder that DuPont made for the U.S. military, and that's what they used at that time. We moved in the 30s to 4895, improved military rifle powder 4895, and that was at DuPont's engineering with the M1 Grand.
Yep.
Remember, what was it? 1936. The M1 Grand was our official rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
speaking of powder, I'm hearing from more and more and more sources that nitrocellulose is becoming shorter.
Yep.
If you have powder you want, buy it now. If you have ammunition you want to buy it now. The rumors floating around are potentially a 50 to 75% increase in price by December. If both of the conflicts continue going as they are.
We've already heard that from Alliant.
Mm-hmm.
This is more than Alliant. This is ammo manufacturers.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying, we've already heard from Alliant saying their charges are going up.
Yep.
Their prices are going up. And I'm surprised that we're still getting Vitavori at the prices that we're getting in the $300 to $350 for 8-pounders.
Uh-huh.
Because they are the ones that are sitting there crying about getting nitrocellulose.
By the way, if anybody's looking for G-Lock and they want to be cool like Jim in 40 short and weak, AIM Surplus just sent me an email. They've got them for $279.99 with night sights, LEO trade-in. So,
primers. What about primers? shouldn't be any problem. We should be getting primers like crazy.
Yeah,
Not large rifle.
I'm seeing primer. Well, I can get large rifle all day here locally.
Well, I mean, if you're ordering online, Cabela's, we haven't seen them in a long time. So
yeah, the shop here locally has been having them for anywhere from $65 1,000 to $85 1,000, depending on the brand.
And there's a new manufacturer that's out producing large rifle primers.
Yep.
Who dat?
And look at Powder Valley.
Is that White River?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are they? $110, $120 1,000 right now?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there. Remington has got some that's out there. They're 9.5s. So yeah, there's primers that are out there. You just don't expect a big break on them. But with the hazmat fees and everybody else is sitting there giving free shipping and free hazmat, look into it, guys.
Well, especially Powder Valley. Powder Valley's running hazmat on over $100. What feels like every other week.
Right.
Natchez does the same thing. Mid-South does it every so often.
Where is Natchez? It's in Illinois, but I don't know where.
Kentucky, I thought.
No,
Natchez isn't in Illinois.
Used to be.
I would have known that. I would have ordered straight from them, first of all, when I lived in Illinois. I don't think they're Illinois.
When I used to order from on paper catalogs.
Not that. Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
So I thought they were down there.
Illinois.
Well, there is a town called Natchez down there. So that's where everybody probably gets confused on, which ain't very big. That'd mean they could have moved out of there.
I just found their mailing address. It's a post office box.
Next, you got Mid-South's in Clarksville.
Take the last train to Clarksville.
They're in Chattanooga. You got Powder Valley's here in South Central Kansas. Grass is Mexico, Missouri. Those are the big ones that we all know of.
Yeah, you notice they're out there in the Midwest.
Yeah, we're fortunate we can get stuff pretty close here in the Midwest, and I'm 4 hours from Brownells, about 3 hours from Powder Valley. If I was closer to Powder Valley, I would have it where I can go and pick up the order. Sierra's 2.5 hours from here, so I can go get second bullets all the time if I wanted.
Looks like they got
Graphs is I think right at 3 from my house, so I could drive to Graphs. So.
I thought Graphs was closer to your house.
No, Graphs is in Mexico, Missouri. I think it's right at 3 hours.
Okay.
I don't go on I-70.
Yes, sir.
We still don't have any 7.5s.
Still don't have any 7.5s, and
Powder Valley does, or I mean Natchez does.
Yeah, I think
$80 1,000.
Mid-South had 7.5s. I think Midway's got 7.5s. Remington 9.5s. I haven't seen any CCI large rifle primers and limited supply of federal large rifle primers.
Well, the only CCI large rifle I have seen are what are the 34s?
Number 34s, yes.
Those are the only ones I've seen in the last 6 to 8 months are those. which I pick them up because they are basically a large rifle. You have to adjust your powder charge ever so slightly, but most
They're
time
hard.
they'll work.
They're
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
That's the night. I mean, if you have a floating firing pin, like in an M1A or a FAL, they're great. I mean, you can't set them off, with just a dimple from the firing pin. But you have a G3, and you don't have any problem then. No floating firing pin.
Speaking of firing pins, did you get that, Nick?
I did.
Okay.
Thank you for all that again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when I completely forgot about it was Midway USA. Literally, I could hit Graphs and Midway USA on the same road trip. Literally, gotta go right past both of them.
Sweet.
And
actually, Sierra. Yeah, I could hit all three.
Sierra.
All three in a day.
And if they will let you in at Starline, you could go there too.
Exactly. Yeah, because they're right across the street. So, and then Hodgson, if Hodgson would do factory tour, even though they don't really have any factory here, it's just the corporate office. But
remember, Sierra sells retail.
So
if
that's where most of my Plinken bullets are coming from is Sierra on their second-hand stuff.
Yeah,
we used to drive over all the time.
They have they also sell retail out of their on their first bullets. So you can buy their bullets first, and if you're daring and you want to go through the seconds,
when I buy the seconds, I usually weigh them, and I don't sort them, but I've had the issues where I bought the 77 grain hollow point bow tails for making like a was the 262 load or the heavy military load, but I've gotten 80 grain projectiles in those. So sometimes you got to be careful when they're dumping; they just dump them. So I always weigh them just to make sure there aren't any odd ones. But then I look for defects and all that. But I really haven't any issues when I'm just plinking.
I ordered some from them, and you used to be able to go online, call them up and order from their seconds. And I ordered some from them, and I ordered some, what was it? Some 22 caliber bullets, 55 grain, I think they were. And I got 2 pounds of them, which isn't much. But when I opened up the bag that they came in, I had about a half a pound of 375 bullets in there.
Oh, they'll fit. Just jam them all.
Yeah, 300 grain bullets. Not going to fit in my 22 250.
Really? Why not?
I don't know.
Just seat them back. Seat them back enough, so you don't put them on the lands and grooves, and it'll fit once.
Well, it's I got to cut the case down so much in order to get them to fit.
Yeah.
The 22 caliber neck just doesn't work. But I was just surprised. I mean, because if I remember right, the price of the 375 bullets were, they were 300 grainers, was something like $14, a pound or something like that.
Do you remember which bolt was it, Paul? I'm looking at
the 300 grain 375s. They're bowtail hollow points.
375, 300 grains.
Yep.
You're looking at there's roughly 23 bolts per pound, and it's $12.57 a pound.
Yeah.
So, I buy a lot of their 303 174 grain hollow point boat tails. I buy a lot of their 175 grain hollow point boat tails. Their 77 grain hollow point boat tails. They're the way to go, especially those. Like you're looking, for instance, the 303 174 grain. You're looking about 40 per pound at under $12 a pound.
Yeah.
So you're looking basically 100 for $23-ish.
And what do they go? What they go for retail?
That one of retail is 2410R. That is. Oh, come on. Did I look at the wrong bullet? Oh, I looked at the wrong bullet. Dang it. I put the wrong number in. Oops. 2315. There we go. That bullet is $46 retail.
Right.
So you're half the price almost.
Yeah.
Actually, about half the price. Yeah. So for just plinking bullets, they do just fine.
There you go.
Now, if I was match shooting, different story.
You do have to be careful with the bullets, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Weigh them, whatever, or look at them and measure a few, because there is a reason they're seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
So
yeah,
say goodbye.
Yep. Go ahead.
I was going to do an ad read.
Go ahead.
Say goodbye to the same old bland camo designs. Camerado brings a fresh, cool edge to camouflage. It's designed not just to function, but to turn heads. With Camerado, you're not just wearing camo, you're making a statement. Unlike traditional camo, Camerado is crafted for both performance and fashion. It's a perfect fusion of functionality and style, ensuring you look as good as you feel, no matter the setting. And use code RELOAD at checkout for an exclusive discount. So Sean created Camerado. He's actually expanded the color options now, so he's got a few different ones. To make sure you swing over, check them out. I've got the boonie hat, or the bucket hat, and the pajama pants. Oh, the pajama pants are incredibly comfortable and they hold up really well. So, and they've got pockets. So, Jim, where's your hat? So that is the Patriot Patch of the Month. When you're a Patch of the Month member, you get the patch and a sticker. And then you also get to see Ryan Cross's original drawing. Swing over to patriotpatch.co. Check it out. Lots of cool patches over there. You can become a Patch of the Month Club member there. Or if you want to help out the podcast, you can go over to firearmsradio.net/category/podcast/reloading-2 and click on the buy our merch or support the show button. Sorry, not the buy our merch. We'll get to that next. Click on the support the show, and then it'll take you to Patreon where you can choose 4 different levels of giving, and one of them includes the Patch of the Month, which we greatly appreciate all of our Patreons. They help a lot. One of the things we're working on doing is I'm working on trying to save up some money so we can get better cameras for podcasts to use. So that's what I'm kind of working on towards. So we'll look forward to that. But Jeff Daniels wants to know, what about blemish bullets? Are they worth the savings for plinking? Yes. Plinking, yes. If you don't really care about complete accuracy, yes. If you care about accuracy at all, heck no. So,
you know what I might do? I might make a road trip over to Midway or Sierra sometime. Pick up some blims, load them up, and go shoot them and compare. Do it with like a 55 grain, say Sierra, or even 77. I'll buy the 77s brand new. Buy some factory, their main ones, and then buy some of the seconds. Load them to the exact same spec, 2 different targets, and we'll see what the difference is.
There you go. It's a good idea.
Oh, you'll find out. I
absolutely.
you.
Yeah, there'll be a difference. So, but I just want to.
Yeah.
We'll have it for a proving ground.
Yep.
If your gun likes the Sierra 77s, you got no problem. So you will see the difference in it.
I know my Green Mountain Barrel 18-inch AR 1-7 does. They love them. So
yeah. Okay.
There you go. if you want to be like the cool kids and get one of those sweet Reloading Podcast shirts like Jim's got or I've got right now, or you want to get one of these awesome tumblers, I've got this one that also comes with brass background and an American flag background. Head over to firearmsradio.net/category/podcast/reloading-2 and click on the green Buy Our Merch button. When you do that, it will take you over to Southern Gals Crafts, their Shopify page, and you can get one of these sweet t-shirts, one of those awesome tumblers, or one of the sweet hoodies. So,
plus can koozies.
And can koozies. Also, remember Buckeye Targets. Travis is still selling steel, so swing over there at BuckeyeTargets.com. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank all our Patreons. I did not podcast or I did not live stream this on Instagram tonight, so I'll see if I get comments on that. If I don't, I'm not going to continue. So it's on. I've got it on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and Rumble and Parler. I don't know if it's streaming live on Parler or not. So Parler is kind of a pain in the ass. So if it shows up there, it shows up there. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But so we've got lots of different places to check it out, plus the audio podcast. So shout outs. Bueller.
The only thing is, if you want us to take a look at anything at GunCon this week, let us know.
Yep. So we'll try and post some footage. Some of the stuff that's there is kind of unofficial.
This will be, from what
NDA.
I've heard, this is kind of their NDA pre-shot show stuff. We'll see, and
yeah,
so
some of it
we might be hush hush on.
Yeah, some of it's kind of NDA. I mean, it's not like people are running around with NDAs to sign, but they politely ask on certain things not to mention them until a certain date. So what we can share, we'll share.
Especially at range day for sure.
Yeah. So
because that's not open to the public.
But we will share some stuff from range day. So
yeah, absolutely.
On that note, gang, keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the Millsap short bus.
Grandpa told me, don't listen to your mama. Violence does solve problems.
Don't be like Jim. Don't be muted. And support the
That'll
Second
help.
Amendment.
That'll help. Sorry about that. As I try to say, the most important thing you do is support the Second Amendment rights we have in this country. God bless America.
Amen.
If you're struggling, 1-800-273-8255 or 988 from your cellular device. If you are a member of the military, where did I put that?
It's 988 also.
No, dang it.
If you're a veteran, I'm sorry. If you're a veteran, it's also 988. Option 1.
Where did I put it? I thought I had it on the show notes, but I guess I don't, so I'll have to add that. So yeah, if military1source.com is a place for veterans and currently serving to go if you're struggling. So mental health is important. Make sure you're reaching out, getting help, and take care of yourselves. Good night, all.